My name is Mark Romanek, and I directed the Red Hot Chili Peppers video Can't Stop.
We went through 1 billion different treatments, read all these treatments, and they all were kind of like, oh, well, it could be good, could not. And all of them, we got this treatment from Mark Romanek, which was basically just a bunch of still photos of this guy, Erwin Worm's work. And it was like, great, we all agreed, this is great, let's do it.
At the very beginning of the videos, we have these like fluorescent light bulbs on our backs. And we had to run with these extension cords. And so in one hand, if you looked at the video, we're holding extension cords so we won't trip on each other's cords.
They were called 1-minute sculptures, and what he had done was he had given a set of instructions to some non-artists, just sort of civilians or friends of his, and the instructions said to, make, for instance, make a sculpture out of this object, and the person would create some sort of human tableau using these ordinary objects. It might have been a cardboard box or a plastic bucket or a child's toy, and then Worm photographs the people, and that becomes the artwork. And I thought it was really charming, and it had this sort of transcendental quality, which might sound a little pretentious, but it just took ordinary things and made them somehow beautiful, and the human beings were part of the art itself. It's hard to find a band that would be right for this, because I think you need a band that can be self-deprecating and has a sense of humor about themselves, who are also capable of being that inventive if you hand them a plastic bucket.
While we were doing it, I wasn't sure at all how it was going to come out, but Mark Romanek was very sure of himself and not very interested in our input, and I respected him for that. I thought that was cool. I even played this guitar here. It wasn't a guitar that I would normally play, but he wanted me to play it because of the color. And I thought it was, it looked like a pretty cool shaped guitar anyways, but guitar people would know that I wouldn't normally play that because I play only old guitars. But
maybe it was the first time that we worked with a director where the first few hours of working was this sort of confrontational meeting of personalities, because he was going, oh no, I want you to do it like this, and we're like, no, we do it like we do it. And he's like, oh no, but I've got it all set up, it's gonna go like this. And so once we got over that initial confrontation, we realized that I think both parties realized that we had to trust each other, and things went really smoothly from that point on.
I had a great time working with all four of them, and actually I found them to be incredibly professional and hardworking.
Making this video just made me feel like Mark Romanek is just a great artist. He's kind of a hard ass the way that he works. He's very almost militant.
It was a fairly strenuous video, particularly the performance section, where I really asked them. I always ask the bands if I shoot a performance to kind of be at an 11 for the whole time, because then you can just find more pieces in the takes and kind of have all that big energy sparking off of each other's shots. And so I kind of demand a lot of the performers, and they just never complained, and they should have complained, because they were exhausted, and I was pushing them really hard, and they were long days. But
he's he's really into detail, which I thought was really good.
An important thing to mention is the first thing I said on this video is it's going to have kind of a clinical look. So if there's not this sense of real joy and playfulness as we're working that comes through, it's probably going to fail. And what I wanted was that juxtaposition between this silly joyfulness and this pretty rigorous, clinical, empty look.
Mark definitely wanted to capture sort of a madcap feeling, like the Monkees or something, And so within the setups of the sculptures, we ran around and acted silly, and, I'm being a goofball like usual.
It was shot in December of 2002, and we found a brand new vacant warehouse in El Segundo, California, and spent 2 long days shooting it there.
This life is more than just a read-through.